I love everything about LA, even the things that people hate about LA, I love. I love the traffic in LA. It's like one of my favorite experiences. Yeah, when you don't live here, it's great. It's wonderful. Because you get to be a part of it, but you know it's not yours forever. It's like another person's child. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you get to be like, this is crazy. Have it back. That's what it feels like. I love it, man. I love the vibe, you know. I love driving out here, you know. And while I'm out here, I get to listen to the radio, because you guys have great radio stations because you're always in your cars, you know. In New York, like radio's not a big thing for me living in New York. I ride my bicycle, I walk through the streets. I can't listen to music because I'll die. But in LA, that's all I do. You just listen to music. Now these days when you're driving around, all you hear is trap music. That's the big thing you hear is trap. That's the new music on the radio. It's really fun, trap. I don't understand what they're saying, but I enjoy it. You know, yeah, every single song is the same. Every trap song to me sounds like a toddler complaining about life. That's all I hear when I listen to trap songs. Every time a trap song plays on the radio, I think of my little brother. He'll go outside, he'll like hurt himself, he'll come back crying, and it sounds like every single trap song ever. He'll like walk in like, and I'll be like, yo, Isaac, what happened, buddy? He'll be like, and I'll be like, yo, dude, slow down. I thought you were playing with your friends. What happened? All my friends are dead. With me to the end. All my friends are dead now. Give me to the end now. And it's I'll be like, yo, go talk to your mom, man. I don't know what you're saying. Go talk to your mom. Oh, the city of angels. I love every moment, man. I'm enjoying myself. I just got back from vacation, so I'm having a great time. You know when you got that vacation swag? You know when you still got that thing? You know, you still feel loose, you feel relaxed. I went to Bali on vacation, yeah, out in Indonesia. Yeah, if you've never been, make a plan and get out there. It's an amazing place. I went out with some of my friends, learned a few things about myself as a person. Most important thing I learned is somebody needs to invent a TripAdvisor specifically for black people, right? No, because just generally I find that what white people want to do on vacation is what black people are trying to escape. And not in a bad way, it's just like we want different things out of life, you know? Like my white friends are always inviting me camping, for instance, always. Like with enthusiasm, we're like, Trevor, you want to go camping, dude? I'm like, why? Why? It's like, dude, what do you mean why? It's amazing, you're kidding me? It's like no water, no electricity, you know? It's just like us in the great outdoors. You gotta take a dump in the hole in the floor or something, dude. I'm like, yeah, that was my life. That was me growing up. You know how hard I worked to never go camping again? Every day I wake up in my bed and I'm like, thank God I'm not camping. If my family saw pictures of me camping, they would be devastated. My grandmother saw me out in the woods. She'd be like, oh, what happened to Trevor? Oh, I thought he was successful. Oh, it must be the crack. I want to go camping. So I went with my friends to Bali. They planned the trip. And before we went, I asked my friend, I was like, yo, Mitch, what are we going to be doing? And he was like, dude, don't ask questions, Trevor. It's just going to be a great time. I was like, yeah, I want to know what the great time is going to be about. He's like, dude, don't ask questions. I should have asked questions. Because we had fun. But the trip, there were a few things that were weird that I wouldn't necessarily do on my own. For instance, on the third day of the trip, right, we had what was planned, what was built in our itinerary as an authentic Balinese experience. Right? That's what they called it, an authentic Balinese experience. And what they did was, they woke us up at 5 a.m., put us in a little bus, and we drove for 3 hours. And when we got there, get out of the bus, we're in the middle of it, it's like a remote village, and the little tour guide, really happy, way too happy for that time, and he's just like, welcome everybody, are you ready for a good time? And I'm like, yay. And so he's like, my name is Deng Basan, and I'm going to be your guide. Today, you will have an authentic Balinese experience. So exciting, follow me. And so we follow him, and he walks up to a little door. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to be like a temple or a cave or something. And he's like, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the real Bali. And he opens the door, into somebody's house. This is not a museum house. This is just a house. Like someone lives there every single day. He opens the door and he's like, this is the home of someone in Bali. He eats here. He sleeps here. I'm like, does he know we're here? Because like we didn't knock. Nobody answered the door. For all I know, we're breaking and entering right now. We're in some weird Balinese gang. I don't know how this works. And as I'm about to ask the question, he turns and he's like, over here you can see the owner of the house. He's in the corner. And we turn and there's a man the whole time. He was just sitting there, frozen stiff. And now I'm like, is this guy part of this? I don't know if we should be doing this or should not be doing this. And Dengba-san turns to me and starts speaking to him in Balinese. He's like, Tengrawada Sangaraka. He's like, okay, you can touch anything. And so I'm like, oh no, I don't think we should. Before I can even finish, the people in our tour group were like, yeah, touch it all. Oh my God, touch it all. Oh my God, does he sleep here? Oh wow, is this where he eats? Oh my God, I can never do this. Oh my God, excuse me, thank you so much for having us. Oh my God, I appreciate my life so much more right now. Thank you so much, this is horrible. Can we take a selfie? Thank you. Are you on Instagram? I'll just put hashtag the man. Thank you. Oh my God. So I'm really awkward right now, right? Because this is like something culturally I'm not supposed to be doing. Right? As an African person, I should not be in somebody's house rummaging through their life. So I'm standing in the corner, really uncomfortable. And the owner of the house, he's really accommodating. He's friendly. You know, he's like, yes, thank you. Enjoy. Thank you. And then he turns and he looks at me. And this was one of the most magical moments, right? Because he was smiling at everyone else. And his face completely changed when he turned. He was all hospitable. He's like, yes, thank you. And with his eyes, he proceeded to have the most in-depth conversation with me that I've ever had. And it's not like the eyes conversation was new to me. Like you can have an eyes conversation with anyone you have a connection with. You know what I'm talking about? Like it could be somebody of the same race when you're in public. It could be like a husband and wife. Like wives are really good at having eyes conversations. Like they'll shit on you hard. Like you'll be in public together and then you'll say something off. You'll be like, oh, if only she did that. And she'll be like, oh hell no, I cannot believe you said all of that. But it's just eyes. I cannot believe you said all of that. Wait until the next, oh, you want to air our dirty laundry out in public? Oh, you're going to see how this is going to end up. Oh, you say this and enjoy this moment right now because you know it's over. And you're like, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. All with eyes, right? That's what he did to me. Because one minute he's smiling at everybody and then he turns and he looks at me and just with these eyes, he was like, what are you doing here? And so with my eyes, I was like, hey man, I'm sorry, I didn't know this was your house. They said it was an authentic experience, that's why I came. He's like, yeah, authentic for white people. You got your own poor, go back to where you came from. I said, yeah, I shouldn't be here, man, I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry. So I left, I go outside. About 15 minutes later, everyone's done with their poverty porn, so they come and join me. And Dengba-san follows the crowd. And he's having a blast, you can tell. You know, he walks out and he's like, everybody have a great time. I know you enjoyed that. Now, it's time for a special surprise. Follow me, everybody, to the back. And he takes us to the back of the house, right? Where there's this area that they've laid out where clearly they have some sort of performance. There's a stage, there's raked seating, and he tells us to find our seats, and so we all sit down. And there's people from all over the world in our tour groups. Myself, my American friends, you got some British people, there's a French family, a dad and his son, they sit next to me. And so I sit in the front row, and Dengba-san comes back out, and all of a sudden he's wearing like a giant Balinese headdress, looking really beautiful, you know? And he looks at us and he's like, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for an authentic Balinese experience? Please welcome the snakes of Bali. I'm like, the what? I'm like, oh, he said snakes. The snakes of Bali. And I look, and there's snakes. There's a group of men gathering snakes to bring out to us. And so I'm like, oh yeah, no, I don't, no. No, because you see, as a black person, culturally, I'm trying to not die. So I take all my stuff, I start packing it. And the French guy turns to me and he's like, my friend, where are you going? The show is starting. I said, yeah, no, the guy said the snake's coming, so I'm gonna move. I'm gonna go to the back. He's like, you're moving because of the snake? I said, yeah. He said, why are you moving for the snake, my friend? Are you afraid of a snake? I said, yeah. That's exactly what I am. I'm afraid of the snakes. He's like, such a big man, but you're afraid of a snake? said, yeah, with a big brain. That's why I'm afraid. It's a snake. Like, you're not gonna trick me into not being afraid of a snake. Like, my toxic masculinity is not so high that I'll be like, yeah, you know what, man? Come on, snakey. Come on. It's a snake. Instead of just letting it go, this guy turns and he's like, I cannot believe it, a big man like this. Hey, Jean-Pierre, Jean-Pierre. He turns to his son. He's like, Jean-Pierre, monsieur le droit de ici, le serpent, parce que ici, le pardon ici, le... And this kid's like, ha, 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 snake, snake. And he's like, oui, snake. Are you afraid? Snake. What is this? It's a snake. Snake. And these two carry on for like 15 seconds non-stop. Right? Just back and forth. Snake, snake, snake the whole time. He's like, snake, are you scared? Snake, snake, snake. I'm like, whatever, man. You guys lost all your wars. So I go to the back. Right? I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this because there's snakes. So I go to the back, take all my stuff, and I climb up, and I'm sitting at the top, right? Because I want to see the show. I just don't want to be a part of it, okay? And so I've got my stuff, and I move all the way up to the top, and I sit there. And as I get there, the show starts, and Deng Basan's really excited, and he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your first performer, the powerful Python." And dude comes out with a giant python wrapped around him, right? And this guy had this cool trick where the python would squeeze him really tight, super tight, so tight you could almost hear his bones cracking, right? And then he'd make a sound. He'd be like, "Eh." And the snake would let go. And then it would start squeezing him again, and he'd be like, "Eh." And the snake would let go. And it would squeeze him again, and he'd make the same sound. He'd be like, "Eh." And the snake would let go. And I was like, wow, this is dope. This is cool. Yeah, they're in a consensual relationship. I like this. This is, And so he leaves with the snake. The next performer comes out, and this guy had a green mamba with him, right? And so Deng Basan is like, "Ladies and gentlemen, the green mamba!" And this guy comes out, and he had a cool trick where he took the lid off the basket, and the green mamba would come out, and then it would start doing like a little move, and then someone would play music, and then the snake charmer would dance with the snake, and they'd do the same moves. It was dope. It was like a Justin Timberlake video, just the two of them, right? Like back and forth. I was like, oh, that was dope. And the snake goes back in, and then Deng Basan came out one final time, and he's like, "Now, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the final part of the show? Please welcome the King Cobra." And the final performer comes out with a cobra, puts the snake down, lifts the lid, snake comes out. And I don't know what it was about this snake, but you could feel the energy change. Like, they were all snakes, but the snake looked mean, you know? Like it looked like it hated life. There was something about it. Like the snake looked like it had a mortgage. Because it looked at us, and then it fixed its eyes on the charmer, and he was really cool and calm. He didn't even look at the snake. He addressed us. He was like, "Ladies and gentlemen, they say the cobra can strike faster than a man can blink. But can a man move faster than the snake can think?" And I'm like, ooh. I don't know what that means, but I'm in. Because it sounds like a dumb Instagram quote, but I'm in. And this guy had the most amazing trick. What he did was, he got right up close to the snake, right? And he'd put his hands behind his back. And then he would make it seem like he was going to kiss the snake. And the snake would be no further than like a foot from his face. And then he would make this sound, like a kissing sound. And as he made the sound, the snake would try to bite him, and then he'd move out of the way. I've never seen anything like it. So he leaned in, and he's like, "Come on, snake. Too slow, snakey. Try again. No love for you, my friend. Come on, snakey." And all of us are enthralled. Every single one of us. No one's making a sound, no one's moving. And he does it over and over again. And then, to take it to the next level, he closes his eyes, pouts his lips. And I guess at this point, the snake was probably like, "Oh, I think I figured this out. This dude's gonna make the sound, and then he's gonna move. But if I bite before the sound, I can change everyone's lives." Because that's exactly what the snake does. The guy closes his eyes, pouts his lips. Before he can make the sound, the snake strikes him, pa! Bam! Hits him on the mouth, right? Cuts his lip open, blood goes spraying everywhere. Now, that should be the end of the story. That should be the craziest part of the story. No, this is the middle. The snake hits him on the mouth, the blood goes spraying. This guy jumps back and then acts like he didn't just get bitten by a snake. Which makes us think we're crazy, because we all saw it. Everyone in the audience was like, oh, and then he jumps back and he just like shakes it off. You know what he did? He did that thing, you know that thing that people do where like you get their hand jammed in a car door or something? Like, you know, like it slams and it'll be like, and then people will just be like, He did that, but with a snake. So the snake hits him, the blood sprays, and he jumps back and he's like, Don't worry, we're fine. Don't worry. Don't worry, everybody, we're fine. Relax, relax, we're fine, we're fine, we're fine. But we weren't fine. You know how we know this? Because his face started melting on the one side, right? So his face starts melting, his lips starts turning blue, and he goes back to do his kiss trick again, but he can't even stand, and then he looks at the snake looks at him, and he's like, okay, show is done, good night, everybody, goodbye, good night. He runs off. And all of us are just like, what the hell just happened, right? He runs off. I have questions in my head. I'm like, is he gonna be okay? Do we get our money back? How does this work? And then we turn back and we realize he's forgotten his snake. And you know what the worst thing was? Is it seemed like the snake realized the same thing at the same time. Because the snake also watched him leave. And then as we turned back, the snake was also like, oh shit. And so now, it's just us and the snake. And mind you, there's no barrier, right? There's no concrete, there's no glass, there's nothing. It's an authentic Balinese experience. So we're all staring at the snake is staring at us. And then one genius decided now would be the perfect time to get an Instagram picture. And I don't know if it was the camera, the sound, or the flash. All I heard was click, and the snake jumped up and was like, and we were all like, ah! And then it was chaos. Pandemonium ensued. Now don't forget, I was at the back, so I just jumped off. I was like, haha, being black saved me! I was out! Panic ensued. Everyone jumps up, people are trying to scramble, like trampling over each other. The French guy was my favorite because he jumps up and he's like, Sacre bleu! Le serpent! Le serpent! Allez, Jean-Pierre, allez! And he's pushing the people and he's running. He's like, allez, Jean-Pierre, Jean-Pierre! And when he turns, his son hasn't moved, right? So little Jean-Pierre is planted to the spot, terrified. And you see his face, he's like, Papa! 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 He's like, Jean-Pierre, allez, mon ami. He's like, Papa! Papa! And so the dad realizes he's got to go back in and save his kid, right? But now this is one of those moments where I think you can see the fundamental difference between mothers and fathers, right? Because a mother would run in without thinking and she'd be like, I will die for my child. Strike me now, snake, right? That's moms. Dads will also save their kid, but in the back of their head, you know the dad is thinking, yo, I'm gonna save my kid, but I don't wanna die. I mean, I don't wanna die because this dumbass didn't know to run when his dad was running. I mean, there's a snake, and I start running, why wouldn't you run at the same time? Now I gotta die for your dumbass, which makes no sense, because I can make another one of you, you can't make another one of me. I should just make you a brother and we can mourn your dumbass death together. I don't even know why we're doing this right now. I think that's what the dad was thinking, right? Because he didn't fully commit. Instead, he tried to sneak in behind his kid. And then he grabs the back of his hoodie and yanks him to safety. So now little Jean-Pierre is choking in the ground. He's like, and he finally gets him to the side. And another snake charmer comes running out, grabs the snake, puts it in the sack. And finally, danger's averted. Everybody's safe. Everyone is safe, but terrified. Some people are crying, others are in shock. I'm standing on the side watching all of this. Little Jean-Pierre's there with his dad. They're both in tears. He's like, désolé, mon ami. Désolé, Jean-Pierre, désolé. And he's like, Papa, le trou de léger le pas de l'échoua. And I don't speak French, but I know this kid was like, you asshole, you left me. I'm gonna tell mom. And so I'm staring at them, and I guess they could feel that I was staring. So they both stopped at the same time, and they turned and looked at me, and I looked at them. And in that moment, I realized we're all human beings. We'll experience the same thing. We went through the same trauma. No matter what happened to us before, we're all human beings. Because they looked at me, and I could see in their eyes what they'd just experienced, what I'd experienced. And in that pause, I bent down, I got real close to them, and I was like, Snake. That's how racism starts. I just got back from Atlanta. It was 107 degrees Fahrenheit. Hottest weather. The worst thing is everyone comes up to me and they go, well, you must be used to this being from Africa. And no, I'm not. I'm from Africa, but that shit is hot. That was just, no. I was scared to go jogging because I thought if I ran out in the streets and fainted, wouldn't the local news love that? I'd be running and I'd fall down in the heat. They would have their vans reporting live. They'd be standing there going, so hot in Atlanta, even Africans are fainting. So I'm enjoying this. Really happy to be here, you know. This is going to be good for us, I hope. I say I hope because I never know with stand-up comedy. It's just, you know, it's an awkward experience, I find. I'm always nervous. I find comedy is very similar to sex for me. Well, it's exactly like sex when you think about it. With me, the comedian, playing the role of the man, and you, the audience, the role of the woman. Because it's my job to satisfy you. And you just have to sit there. And then, just like sex, my success or failure will somehow be determined by how much noise you make during my performance. Which makes it a one-sided affair, I feel, you know? Yeah, I mean, maybe you're the quiet type. I hope we have magic tonight. I hope we create something wonderful. I mean, for many of us, it's our first time together, and that means it might be awkward. I understand this. And if that's the case, I want you to know that I'll look into your eyes, I'll see that I'm freaking you out, and I'll stop. I'll stop, and I'll flip you back over, and we'll go back to the simple stuff. Okay? I've been in America for a few months now, and I'm really just thrown by the place. It's not what I expected at all. Different from the brochures and the pamphlets. There's many assumptions I had about America before I came here, and I've come to learn that those were wrong. For one, I just assumed people spoke English here. It's far from it. It's not, you know what, it's not so much the language, so much as the pronunciation of words that throws me off. It's just what Americans have done with the language. You guys have just, wow, you've done something. You've put 22s on the English language. You've got rims that just pimp my language. That's what you've gone with, you know? I don't understand. I was chatting to this woman downtown the other day. She came up to me and she wanted me to see something. I don't know what though. She was like, oh my God, look over there. I said, look over what? She's like, over there. Look at that her. And I said, her? She's like, no, her. There's two of them. I understand nothing, even the small words, just the pronunciation, you know, small things that get you by. For instance, I pronounce the opposites of uncle as aunt. I say my aunt. Out here, you say my aunt, which to me is an insect, which made me look like an ass when my friend told me his aunt died. And I was like, so what? There's tons of those out there. This is madness. Everything out here is different. Do you know how hard it is to learn when you come out here? You have to change everything. There's the measurement system, which is just, I mean, America, you guys have your own thing, the imperial system, you know? On my side of the world, we use the metric system, and by my side, I mean the rest of the world, you know? We have the metric system, which is, amongst other things, very efficient. It's a very simple process. You know, everything goes into each other, and out here you have imperial, which is fine. I mean, I won't judge you. If you want to be imaginary, that's up to you. But I just feel like there's some consistency that's needed. Small things. Like, for instance, when we abbreviate our small measurement, milligrams, we use mg, milligrams, mg, milligrams. And you guys have ounces, which you then abbreviate OZ. There's no Z in the word, ounces. I don't know. That's pale in comparison to what you've done with pounds. That for me. Please explain to me how the abbreviation for pounds became LBS. LB pounds. I look like the idiot walking into the store going, could I please have the 2 labs bag of sugar? Guy was like, you mean pounds? I said, I don't see the P, no, I don't. He said, well, it means pounds. It's not LBS. A lot of bullshit, that's what it stands for.